In thinking about the specific project teams that I work with and the performance, so to speak, that manifests itself in the document that a writer produces, many conversations and decisions come into play to determine the right level of content to provide to the audience or the user. As the writer on the project team, it's my job to determine the types of documents to produce and the goals of each document, but I work very closely with the other members of the project team to make sure that my decisions are based on good information. As the project evolves, we also make sure that we're still meeting those information needs of the target audience, because things may come up that may require us to change course a little bit if more detail becomes available, or if we need to change the direction of one of the documents. And so the writer's role is kind of like the director of a performance of a play or a movie, if you will. They're the person who makes sure that the information is complete and is presented appropriately, but the entire team takes a part in producing it. We discuss what level of detail to include on specific options, for example, what assumptions we can make about their knowledge, and especially in specific functional areas, and whether or not to include specific topics based on their needs. One example that recently came up was discussing, we may discuss in the project team different options for setting up a web server, for example. We talked about all the different ways to do it and all the different methods. But what we ended up doing was settling on one or two recommended options for our clients to follow based on their level of knowledge of how to set up a web server. We didn't want to confuse folks by explaining lots of different options, and our audience research showed that folks who are experienced administrators with other aspects of our products or usually do not have a lot of experience setting up web servers. So we needed to make sure that the information we provided for that was a little bit more detailed than what we might normally produce. And we didn't want to overwhelm folks with too many options and too many choices. We just wanted to tell them our recommendation and really distill it down and give them the detail they needed to set up that part of their system. So to put on that performance of this document, so to speak, the effective technical writer needs to be able to understand at a fairly detailed level all the features of the product, and then make sure that they know who the audience is, and then put it all together to make sure that the piece that is produced meets the needs of the audience in terms of what does the audience need to be successful in getting their job done. So the effectiveness of the writer hinges on his or her ability to synthesize all this information from the team members about the product, information from the audience, which can come from also other team members or direct interaction with the audience or whatever sources are available, and turn all that information into a document that is complete and accurate and usable and effective for the target audience in getting their job done.